Alright, should be recording just... Yes, I see the file. This is another one of those 0.1 videos, so I'm gonna be just doing these. Yeah, an RPG frenzy. I'm gonna like this. Unfortunately, I only have like the two things, so...
Uncle Sheldon to Major Rico. The Black Hand. Ring any bells?
Creepy military dudes, heavy armor, very skilled.
Yeah, that's the bunch. They've been capturing a lot of rebels from Medici and from other places around the world. I thought you'd want to know, hombre, and go save them or whatever. The thing is, we don't know where they detain them. The only thing we found out is that they have a cargo plane on an airstrip in the northwest of Medici. Best lead we got.
This is the real
Okay. So yeah, because of it being, just, you know, my doing this stuff, I don't really have any about. I can, though. Today's the 2nd, tomorrow is when AMD is, announcing the, it's 7000 series, so the RDNA 3 GPU. And I could, you know, try to give my own speculations and hopes. Right now I am so focused on this. It's like not even funny. Man, this destruction is just nuts. I'm not sure what I can blow up. Oh, doesn't matter. I already have enough. Alright. That was fun. Okay. Yeah, I got no idea. I know I've seen some Moomoo stuff for the RX 7000 series, but it's not like that has to mean anything. There. Personally, I want it to be price competitive. I mean, it's like, or competitive pricing. I mean, like underdog pricing. We get it. You can. I don't doubt that they can put out something that'll, performance-wise, be comparable to the 4090. Thought I heard a noise like there's a collectible, but then it didn't. Here. Oh, no, there it is. And it's like, you know, that's fine. We can have such an overkill Halo product. That's not what I would buy. Even though I do have the money, I probably could afford it. It's just that doesn't fill my need. It's like the 700 XT series level. Like 7700 XT or 7600 XT. That's more where I'd actually need it. The pricing needs to be good, or else it's like, why bother, kind of thing. And it's like I do have that concern, so I'm hoping that they figure out something there. I'm also just thinking, I only have these 2 things to do. Might as well pause and take some time. They will have improved ray tracing. I don't know how much. But I would wonder if it will be just a straight performance improvement. I don't remember which version of the RT cores from NVIDIA were actually just like they doubled the raw performance. It didn't imply, there's no implication that they changed things, made it more efficient. I think it was like RT core 1, 2, like Gen 1 to 2 was just a straight doubling. But I think this 3rd gen in Lovelace might also have some tweaks too. But it's like, AMD might also do that. Might do some things to make it more efficient. That would be good to see. I mean, true, I don't really care about ray tracing, but it still is better competition there. It's going to be better. Efficiency would be good. Just general efficiency, undercut NVIDIA on the silliness that they have going on with all that. Yeah, I mean, it really is, for me, just what's the pricing going to be. That's what'll get me excited or not one move. It's the price. $5,700 or $1,000, whatever. But no, I was looking around to see if there was a spot for, if it gives the challenge difficulty. Notice, I don't have the jetpack in. It would be neat if you could still have the jetpack. But I do understand why they don't. I do not know if these different paths are all equal. Hopefully they are, because they're far enough apart, it's not like you can do anything really fancy between them. I overcorrected. I'm not gonna get the center there. Whoop, I'm not gonna get that. Oh, maybe I will. Nice. Not on this angle. I'm not gonna do better than that. But maybe that might have been enough. Probably wasn't. Just missed. Okay. I'm gonna do this one again. I do genuinely believe I can get it. If I didn't overcorrect that, well, no, that wouldn't have been enough. I'm gonna go left though this time. I'm not gonna go straight. Which is actually a bad idea, because I have no idea what that path is. And even though I am focused, it's just going back to the point about pricing. We need an RX 580 killer. And I don't say that just because I'm on an RX 580 at the moment. What I mean is just, the RX 580 represents something that I do think has been kind of neglected in a way. It was very much like a full GPU. Sure, it was, mid-range, but it's, you can't really complain about any of its components. But you can do that for plenty of other mid-range GPU that were targeting the same, roughly the same performance. Can I? Yes! That's gotta be it. That has gotta be it. Boom. Yes. And I didn't get anything for either of these. Except the memory. I can try to get this collect. But yeah, so what I mean is, like, the most obvious example with 580 is the fact that it has 8 gig, or at least my version. There were 4 gig versions. It wasn't until the RX 590 that it was 8. Nope, this is only with 8 gig. Good, I am going away. Somewhere around here.
Run the general off our island and give Medici back to the people.
It's either down this way or it's actually down. Probably down. Okay. I guess we need to listen.
Day 27. Private Bonnet, an agreeable soldier, ingratiates himself to me in hopes I drag him with me through the ranks. It is true a right-hand man should start at the bottom with you. This gives the illusion of equality. But Private Bonnet may do better as a sacrificial lamb should the occasion arise.
But yeah, I mean, you compare. I wish I could shoot these things, but I can't. I want to though. But you compare the 580 against the 1060. The 1060 had a 3 gig version that was also a cut down GPU, while the 6 gig version obviously had 6 gig, but it did also have a better GPU in there. That wasn't the case with the 580 or the 480.
Dispatch. Target is
So there was consistency for the actual GPU die itself, which is definitely a good thing to have. I'm just gonna fly around. Have some fun doing that.
We've lost him. Get back to your posts.
But it's, you know, like, it was, you know, full featured. Now, of course, it was also the top end for Polaris then. I mean, there was that aspect to it, but, you know, it's like full featured, 8 gig, very good GPU design, and $250. That was awesome. It is awesome. It still is awesome. Yeah, I'm actually gonna head over this way. I can try to find collectibles. I am thinking. But today it does seem, and I think I've talked about this kind of thing before. It does seem like some of the GPU stuff, the mid-range GPU, is just cut down. It's like, yeah, I'm only putting it with 4 gig, or we're only putting it, you know, with 6 gig, and it's like, yeah, it's you know, not something to be excited about on its own. Again, it seemed like I heard. Yeah, let's check out. Get out.
Don't tell me where I can't go.
Because like, what do we have after? What really replaced the 580? Would that be the 5600 XT, the 5500 X? 5600 XT, except for the, I think that still had the 16 wide PCIe connect. I think it, but it wasn't only 6 gig. So that was a little weird. And I mean, true, it would have been 6 or 12 gig because that is how that stuff, how the memory controllers work. But it still is just one of those, you know, why can't we, you know, try to have a bit more? I do think, while I do definitely believe that it is overkill, this obsession with VRAM. It's like people saying, oh, you gotta have more than 8 gig, you have to have you in 12 gig min for stuff. It's like, I don't think most people need to worry about that.
Drill Sergeant Dushku sincerely believes in his own genius.
We got reports that a truck near your location is loaded down with prisoners.
You sure
Can
you want
free
to
them?
do this?
This doesn't actually impact progress, so...
This is dispatch, sending ground reinforcements to your position.
Whoops. Almost crashed into that.
Drive alongside and I'll take them out.
Oh, good, it kept going. 5500 XT, I think that was
All units, find the rebel. Pursue aggressively.
primarily a 4 gig. That may have been, or at least had some variant. But it's like, it didn't offer as much performance. It didn't offer enough to make it be like, yes, this is definitely what we want.
Target has left the area.
To replace the,
It's hard making this code.
the 580. And I think the same is, I'm trying to remember what the situation is for the 6500 and 6600 XT. I think one of them is definitely the whole, yeah, actually no. Head up there, see what happens.
For la revolution!
Nope, I don't want to be... I just want to go by there in case it is like a location that just hasn't appeared on my maps. But yeah, I don't follow NVIDIA GPUs or AMD GPUs that closely, really. But I still do feel like we don't have mid-range GPUs that are things to get excited for anymore. That they're just too often just cut down. That they're not being paired with good components as well. In like the whole, pairing it with 8 gig, pairing it with 6 gig even in some cases would be good. Better than 4 gig. AMD doing the whole, it's there, but we're also, cutting the, it's only 8 PCIe lanes on it, which I don't even understand why they would do that, what the benefit is there. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, I want to see that stuff come back. The excitement that's, have some excitement over these things. And also competitive pricing, come on. I get it. Inflation and the supply chain stuff. But it's still, figure out how to get these things back to 200, 250. I mean, it's... Let the Halo products be as expensive as you want them to be, but get the other stuff somewhere that people are like, yes, I'm comfortable spending that much money, not well, that's what I want, so I have to spend that much money. It's like, that is really what needs to happen. Come on, we can do this, can't we? And it is also one of those things that if AMD wants to beat NVIDIA, wants to cut them, wants to make them bleed, which I definitely think with Ada Lovelace right now, that's achieved. Well, at least, this, to be fair though, the 4090 is also not that great an example, because they had that thing pushed so high. That if they had tuned that back, because there have been some people that did actually back off on the power limits and see tremendous performance. It's still very good, very solid performance. And you cut the power usage dramatically. I mean, it's so the 4080, I mean, that could actually be in a much better place. That is possible, but it's if they don't do that, if they keep pushing, then it's that would be an opportunity, because AMD dialed back even low, but if you can be within 5% of the performance class, the same performance class, well, 5% of the same performance in that class as NVIDIA, but you cut power usage, you cut thermals, and you have a better price, a much better price, you win. That would, you know, that would really make NVIDIA bleed. You know, like, if they can get within 5% of, like, whatever AMD's Halo product is, let's just say it's going to be 7900 XT. Although I will agree, some people have been saying they need to bring, they need to have, like, special edition of it, named the 7970 XT, in reference to the original GCN, the HD 7970 and 7950. But it's like, if that is the top end, if they got within 5% of the performance of the 4090, which I definitely believe is possible, and by 5%, I do mean like 5% below, but at $1,000 and with only 325 to 350 watts, which would be doable. Supposedly, I saw something, the rumor basically being that the it's going to use 2 8-pins, so there's 300 watts there, if you're at just the spec, but those can go higher. Yeah, Buildzoid had a video talking about the 12-pin connector fiasco. Well, 12-pin, the fiasco is with the adapter, not with the connector itself. Although it is still a dumb connector. But he talked about how the 8 pins, the actual spec on that, is like 300 watts, is what the cables can actually carry. It will also be... it's not... He gave 2, because there was that, but there was also a version of the spec that's like at 250, but it's still... That's... You can definitely go higher.
I love you, Rico!
Great. Let's pick up this informant. Make sure not to get hit. You'll blow
Whoops,
your cover.
I forgot. It's X, I think. I prefer to work with FMPEG directly, haha. Anyway, oh, it's right here. I didn't realize it was that. Oh, Shift is... That is...
The military can't know we have an insider revealing their informants. Make it look like an accident, and hop out so you're not part of the wreck too.
Where the hell?
There was somewhere that I saw a jump. You know, it actually...
Where are you? I might as well have walked there.
This way, I think. I think it's this way. And the path down. But yeah, if they got within 5%, I think 10% would be too. But 5%, that's close enough to a margin of error for a lot of people. But instead of $1,600, made it $1,000.
Riddance. Well done, Rico.
That would be something that's like would get. Where is my parachute? Ow. Yeah, I threw it up there. But yeah, I do think that could do it. I mean, part of it is the whole there's no such thing as a bad product, just bad pricing.
That's it. I've tried.
Like that is very true. And it's like, I don't doubt that AMD will have, even the wingsuit's kind of screwed up. Okay, now I got parachute back, but the wingsuit is still weird. Yeah, I will be stopping. I've had, fortunately, as much fun as I can. Because it's... Yeah. There's nothing... The rest of the place to really do. What's the next mission? It's this one. Alright. I'm just gonna take myself over there. But yeah, it's the whole, there's no bad products, just bad pricing. And AMD, I don't doubt will have good products. NVIDIA too. But NVIDIA's pricing isn't that great. AMD, that's where they need to attack. They need to attack at the pricing. And also, as I was saying, they need to make sure that the mid-range is something to be excited about. Something that is a very competent and, like, full GPU there. Not a, yes, it's a slower GPU and worse RAM. Or worse PCIe connection. I mean, it's like, don't do that. Don't hamstring your own products. Have each one be something you're excited about. But it is also, I will say this, because, yes, part of the reason you cut back on the VRAM and such is it can be cheaper. I have no idea with the PCIe. I really don't. I wouldn't think that would make it cheaper. Maybe it does. But you have the, like, in the XT and non-XT versions of all these GPUs. Make the non-XT versions the one where you cut down on that, and the XT versions where you don't. You can do that, so it's like the less expensive version, and the full price version, but the full featured version as well. That's what I'd be tempted to do. That's how I would segment within each code name. That's not really how to put encoded name. You know, like the 6800, 6800 XT, then the 6700, 700 XT. It's like, you know, that's what I mean by the code name. So that's how I would want to approach it. Along with the whole, what I was saying about full featured. It's like, because, yes, there's still a purpose to the cut down stuff. Most certainly. But it's, you know, let's make sure that the full featured stuff is there too. Also, so this is smart fuse at 3 more. Homing grenade settle. Oh yeah. I haven't even named it. It's like, those will be nice, but this'll be good, and this. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait, what? I already had that with the jet. It's like breaking. Huh. That is just weird. I really don't know. We'll see if it keeps doing it in a couple days, but it'll probably just, because it does work. My guess is it's just something to, like, something I did is just put it in a weird state, and it'll be fine if I would have restarted the game. Alright, well, that'll be it. I'm here, so I should start. Wow, not even full half hour, but I did the 2 things I wanted to do. Unfortunately, they were the only 2 things I could do. Oh well. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see what is announced tomorrow. It'll probably be 3 GPUs. Now, true, this will come out on Saturday, but my guess is we'll have the 7800, 7800 XT, and 7900 XT all announced, with something similar to that. Although I have seen some moves about there being an XTX, a 7900 XTX. That's fine, but make it 4. You gotta at least have the 7800 series announced. Both of them. You can't do just like 7800 XT and then 2 7900s. Unless your pricing is phenomenal. Where it's like $1,000 for the Halo product, and the 7800 XT comes in at like $600. Which, that would be phenomenal. I would think a 7800 XT would probably be more like 7 to 800. A 7800 non-XT could be closer to 6. Probably won't see a 7700 XT announced. It's possible, just very unlikely. That could be teased for a CES kind of announcement, though. I do think it's reasonable to believe rasterization performance, at least at the top end, that will compete with the 4090. I think that's reasonable. Ray tracing performance, I don't know. Because it is one of those weird things. It's like, this will be AMD's 2nd generation design, not It's like they have one, and yeah, a lot of people say it's not that good. It can be good. It depends on what you're doing with it. Like the optimization tricks, and I don't remember which is which, but it's like between the two versions, AMD's and NVIDIA's approaches. One is very good at traversing the BVH, bounding volume hierarchy. Basically, it's an efficiency trick to very efficiently tell if a ray is going to strike an object or not. The other is very good at, after the BVH, figuring out, okay, what triangle did it hit? The triangle intersects. Like, one is very good at the triangle intersect, the other is very good at BVH. And so it's like if you were to just optimize for one thing or the other, where it's like if a deep BVH would take longer to traverse, but if you're very fast at traversing the BVH, it's a performance benefit because there's less reliance on the triangle intersection for that version. Whereas for the other, a shorter BVH, but so you're relying more on triangle intersection, but if that's where your strength is, go there. It's like, there are optimization potentials there. But it's still, AMD, it will be the second generation RT design. They'll probably have made some improvements. It's also, that, in my mind, it'll be chiplet design. Which, that is going to make pricing interesting, because it has potential to be the Zen moment, as some people put it, which should just be referencing the whole with the original Zen, with Ryzen 1000 series and the EPYC. It was all the same Zeppelin die they were making. Just having that produced in as high quantities as they could, and then they binned them and be like, okay, these are efficient enough they can go to EPYC. These are fast enough they can go to top-end Ryzen. These are slower, so we're going to put them in a slower-end Ryzen, or slow but very efficient, put it in EPYC. That's what they did, and it was genius and very, very good to do. These will likely have 3 chiplets. Well, 2 different types of chiplets, 3 for like a full... Oh, wait, no, that's right. I saw one rumor that's like 6. I have no idea. There's going to be like a control chiplet and a actual compute chiplet, though. Kind of like what you see now with the Ryzen Zen 2, 3, and 4, where there's an I/O die and 2 compute dies. Probably be a design kind of like that, with Infinity Cache helping with the connection, is my guess. But if they can do that for the entire product stack, yes, that would bring down pricing a lot. Really, it would, because they're smaller dies, so you just mass produce and you bin them. And it's like, okay, these we can put into the highest end stuff because they're exquisite, and others was like, yeah, these aren't so good, but we can still make a product with these, put them in there. And it's economics at scale, but within your product stack, as opposed to just like targeting one thing in the product stack to take advantage of it. It's a very powerful model. But is the whole, they have to price it well. And like the original Ryzen CPUs were actually priced pretty well. I think I'm trying to remember. I know that like the 1700X, 1800X, I think that, yeah, the 1700 or 1700X was like $300 to $400. The 1800X was like up to $500. But I think the 7700K that was that Intel had at the time was also like a $500 part. So you did have 1800X like price competing, but the 1700 and 1700X competed, was still giving very good performance, but at a much lower cost, and they had 8 cores. So for productivity, they could, well, for some productivity, they could smash the 7700K. So it's like, yeah, hopefully it is a Zen moment in that the hyper price competitive. Because they can be. But it is also, this is not going to be a Zen moment in that AMD already has performance competition with NVIDIA. That just is true. Even if it is, they're on average behind by like, what, 10%, maybe 15%? But they're not using crazy amounts of power. They're not being crazy hot, which is what you'd see before. Like the Vega 64 was a direct competitor performance-wise to the GTX 1080. It also pulled more power and was a lot hotter. You could do some tuning to bring that under control. I know I did, and it's awesome. But it's still, performance was there, everything else wasn't so good. AMD is much closer to true parity. Even if they are a little bit behind, they're much closer to that than original Zen was to... Was that Kaby Lake? whatever the core 7000 series was. So yeah, I mean, it's like it's going to be very interesting, but it's the pricing they have to get right. It really is, and hopefully they do. I want them to get that right. That'll put pressure on Nvidia, and it'll also just make it a lot more easier for a lot of people to decide, yes, I'm going to upgrade. Yes, I'm going to buy that. So it's, we need that. We need to get back to that. We need the excitement. The whole, yes, I'm going to spend the money to buy that versus I want that, therefore I'm going to spend this much money. We need that first dynamic back, and not just the whole, oh, well, it's inflation. Oh, well, it's supply chain. That's why it's costing so much more. It's like, let's figure it out. At least I want that to happen. I know there's people saying we're never going to go back to lower prices, but on the one hand, I can see how that's true. On the other hand, though, how did we have low prices to begin with? Competition. That's how we had the low prices to begin with. It's not because they were necessarily just that cheap to make, but because competition drives you to have either the best product or the best price or the balance between. There was an excuse to not have the best price before. You know what? So things went up. Well, you know what? That reason has subsided some. And it's also just it's how you compete. Best price or best performance. And finding the balance in between. It's like, it's still valid to do that. So I do think we will get to that. But come on, can we do it quicker than over the next 5 years? All right, I'm definitely done talking. See, well, I guess potentially in half an hour, because this will go live at noon, and then, well, noon for whatever time zone YouTube is using for me. And then the other one that I will record on Friday, which will be after the announcement, that I have going live at the 1 o'clock according to YouTube's time zone. So it'll be, half an hour from now. So we'll find out just how wrong I am or how right I am. Probably more wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm wrong lots of time. See you then.